First American Pope, Leo the 14th. He's addressing the world as we speak. Born in Chicago, educated at Villanova. He is seen as a centrist. He has a few progressive views, well, progressive in for the Catholics, but he is very much a centrist in a lot of his stuff. And I don't know if it was, to be honest, I don't know how they chose it. I thought they were, we thought they were all going to go a lot more left than this guy. But maybe they thought, you know what, let's throw America one, right? Let's do this. Like, America's ready for it. We were just talking off the air. How long until Trump?
So why do they keep mentioning Peru?
He was, that was a place he spent a lot of time in Peru.
He said he had a diocese there.
Yeah, he ran a diocese. So, he went there as he grew, and then he ran a diocese there. And then he was eventually, after a few other things, he was named the guy that kind of like went out and picked two of them.
But as a cardinal, he worked in Chicago, right?
Chicago. Okay. Chicago. You think Dolan is not thrilled by this? Man, Dolan. That guy was a cardinal forever. Never had a shot.
Hey, you got to politic your way in.
So, speaking Latin, as you do, very good language, very wide range of I don't know. The neat thing is him now going to have the opportunity to do English. He speaks Spanish, obviously. He's, in Latin, is pretty much nearly, you can pick up one.
He was just talking Italian, too.
Oh, see, Italian. Well, again, the Latin language is like, you go through the French, it's the romantic language. Look at all the Americans. How stoked are they? Trump's like, I told you guys, I want to congratulate my friend Bob. Good friends.
I got him over the line.
Reverend Mark R. Francis, a former classmate of Cardinal Prevost, who is now the Pope, said Bob believes that everybody has a right and a duty to express themselves in the church. He is not for women being ordained. But he is, he's expressed less welcoming views than Francis when it comes to the LGBTQ plus, but not as conservative as many others thought they may have gone. While praised in Peru for supporting Venezuelan immigrants and visiting far-flung communities, the cardinal has drawn criticism over his dealings with priests accused of sexual abuse. So that's not a good thing. So we're going to find out, though. He was not one of the favorites. He was the favorites of the Americans that were potentially could have been it. And they had done some articles from him, but as far as the favorites, he wasn't. So let's see here. There's a lot of people there. There's a ton of people at this. It's crazy how many people are there. And I wonder how many of them, because, like if you're in Italy and you're on vacation, you're going to go by the Vatican. It's cool. It's amazing to see. Like, wow, look at all this wealth and opulence, and they got a wall around it. But how many people flew there for this alone? That's interesting. I like to find that out. His parents were Peruvian, and yeah. Dude doesn't believe in punishment for priests who sexually abuse little boys. Oh, he
does not?
No, that's what some people are saying. So we're going to find out. Pope made in America, MAGA Pope. So, yeah, there he goes. Off he heads now. Now what, guys? I don't know. Take you to your room? Well, I just got this gig, man. I want to take it out for a ride. Where's the Pope Mobile? Where is it? Apparently he's very, how should I say this? Quiet, not as, and then we were listening to people earlier talk about how they say that, the whole thing of heavy is the crown, but that many people are very introverted who get this, and somehow it's like they become somebody else. I don't know if this is going to be that guy, but the 69-year-old is now the Pope for the world. Speaking of stuff and change, all right, guys, it's time to get to some serious stuff today. And this is serious. One thing we don't like in our world is change. If you guys don't know that, you're fooling yourself. Here's something that's changing. Be prepared. It's going to happen.
For Netflix's 300 million plus members, the streamer's homepage is as familiar as that iconic tone. But now, its classic interface is getting an overhaul.
What led you to this decision? Because some people would say, why fix what's not broken?
We thought we really need a UI that'll make it easier for our members to find the shows that they want.
Netflix CEO Greg Peters gave us an exclusive peek at the new features, like preview blurbs for each show and personalized badges to guide your choices.
You really care about awards. You might get an Emmy winner award here badge.
I've watched every season of Bridgerton, so hey, here's an alert, another season coming.
So there's that. And I was talking to people about, because I find this stuff interesting because my computer, I had to do an update because I got this new computer, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Apparently, a lot of these things want updates every 5 minutes. It's like I just go from update to update. And every time I get something I like, it changes. And I'm sitting here going, you know what? More people are going to be affected by this in the next 2 weeks outside of a nuclear war with India, which would be, that would affect us all, but I don't think it's going to happen. When they start moving stuff around, they got some cool stuff too, but still.
He says the search tool is also new. Move from the left side to the top. It's more sophisticated, using AI to curate content just for you.
You say, like, I'd like something that's uplifting, that's a period piece, that involves these elements, and then we can respond with titles that, that work for you in that moment.
Peters says while the new interface will roll out over the next few weeks, an upgrade of another popular feature, subtitles, just debuted, allowing viewers to choose between captioning for dialogue with background sounds or just dialogue alone.
How often are your users activating the subtitle feature?
Maybe surprisingly, around half of the hours that are viewed on Netflix are viewed with subtitles or with closed captioning. So it's why we invested in it a lot.
Do you use closed? I use subtitles. Well, I use the closed captioning stuff.
I do too, depending on what else I have going. Like if I'm watching something else at the same time, or I'm on the phone while I'm watching something, I turn the closed caption on just to make it easier to keep up with it.
We've been watching Mobland. If you guys know what Mobland is, that is
Tom Hardy.
Have you seen it?
Yep.
It's incredible.
I love it.
It is incredible. My wife, she doesn't understand half the things the English are saying and the Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She's like, you better I don't know what they're saying. So that was isn't it a great show?
It's great.
Are you having to translate for her?
Yeah. Well, if there's any Scottish people, I have to translate all the time. But it is, but you know what? The new thing, though, this is what's interesting about the new thing, guys, is you can have the subtitles now, or, the closed captioning without the sound behind it. So if there's a fight, you could just get their dialogue, which is kind of cool. So you'd still hear them, but not the other stuff as well. More.
In an economy where most streamers are struggling, Netflix revenue is up 13%. The company investing $18 billion this year in new content, funded in part by those subscription price hikes that have left some consumers fuming.
Netflix is really out here doing their customers dirty and just being greedy.
Given the stress the economy is putting on so many people, are you comfortable holding prices where they are now for the foreseeable future?
Our job is to keep trying to work to make the service better, and then hear from members when, that right moment to make a price change would be. So we're not changing anything in that regard.
Don't change a thing. They make their most money, though, off of something I think most people would be surprised by. But they've got to. Here's the challenge in something like this, and I don't know if you guys understand this, but I get frustrated. And like you've watched the first 6 episodes of Mobland, right, Ken?
Yep.
Amazing. I didn't know how many episodes there were, and I'm like, you can't end it like this.
Yeah, at first I thought there were only 4.
Yeah. So, but there's 10. The other 4 are going to be released in June. The problem is, I love the show. You know when I'll probably see it after that? 2026 or 27. By then, I've moved on. Like what's this? Stranger Things. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys know. Millie Bobby Brown is a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, married
Grown-ass woman.
Married. And Millie, I'm going to tell you this right now. Stop whining about how you're being sexualized when all I do is see your butt in a bikini all day. But you start filming this when they're 13, and they'll do 10 episodes, and like the next one we're going to shoot is 36 months from now. Well, I've moved on. That was the one thing of the consistency of corporate television is you knew, okay, there's going to be, unless they canceled it, in January, there's going to be new episodes. Where this, I have no idea when there's going to be episodes. And that's the frustrating part for a lot of people because I get excited. And I know that is it Squid Games? Is that the game, the show? They didn't think it was going to be a big hit and it became massive. So they capitalized when they did the second season. They pulled a Back to the Future 2 and 3 and filmed them together. So you have season 2 and 3 together so they could roll it out because you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Despite all the success, Netflix has had its stumbles. Technical glitches during live events, enraging audiences, and viewer backlash to hype shows like Meghan Markle's With Love, Meghan.
Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. I'm Sussex now.
It's like really bad. I know that Netflix is just trying to recoup the money with hate watching.
Do you all pay attention to the way fans react on social media?
Really, at the end of the day, we're looking at, what is the viewing behavior? Because that's the thing that matters the most. Are we satisfying viewers and are they watching?
As for those prices, which Netflix says are holding steady for now, half of its new subscribers sign up for the cheaper plan with ads, and that actually makes more revenue than the higher priced no ad tier for the company. So it's become a win-win for both Netflix and subscribers.
So be prepared. That's coming to you soon and will frustrate you for several days, as things like this tend to do. If you guys are just tuning in, we have a new pope. It's the first ever American pope, made in America pope. We're onshoring Catholicism all over again. Any new? Has Trump sent out anything? Has he truthed anything yet? We got to check that out. But his name is Robert Prevost. I believe he's from Illinois, just outside of Chicago. 69 years old, went to Villanova, seen as a centrist. Some of you have chimed in and started talking about how horrible he is. So there's that. Welcome to the world of social media. And but he is seen as a centrist compared to what the last pope was. Francis was seen far more left-leaning and very popular amongst all. I know Chris and I were talking about it. Well, amongst the conservative older church, Francis wasn't popular. Amongst the world, that guy was very popular. And this new guy, he's taking the name Leo the 14th. So we got an American pope, first one ever, and first one born here in North America. Because somebody tried to tell Bell and I, this is not the first American pope. No, this is the first American pope, if you know what I mean.
Well, he was trying to argue semantics that Argentina is in South America, but we're talking about countries, not
talking
regions.
about America. First USA pope. How's that? Born and raised in the United States of America.